Hi, Miss Martinez. This is Laura Dominguez. Sorry about the background noise. My kids are here, so they're gonna be making quite a bit of noise. Um, okay, I'm gonna get started. Today, I'm gonna be presenting a strategy called sorting activities. The rationale for this strategy is that it requires students to sort objects, words, phrases, and sentences according to a set of parameters or different categories. Students are able to manipulate different things and sort them into their corresponding um, area. Um, this strategy, you can use it or it can help in all content areas. Like this strategy is suited for all content areas because of the different things that students can sort um, in a classroom. Some examples of things students can sort in a classroom based on a content area would be maybe for math. Students can they can sort out, let's say, even numbers and odd numbers if they're learning what even numbers are and what odd numbers are, or let's say prime numbers, whole numbers, things like that. They can sort them out. In science, they can sort out, let's say um, they're learning about animals and the types of animals, like what they eat, like for example carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. Students can get pictures, or they can even themselves make a chart and start sorting them into like a graphic organizer or just a simple page, and they divide it into different sections and they can sort out the animals in their corresponding category. And for smaller children, maybe pre-K, where they're learning the alphabet, they can sort out the capital letters and their lowercase letters. They can sort them into where they belong, in the category where they belong. um, this strategy can also be very helpful for students who are bilingual or they're learning a second language. Say they might be in a district where it's an early exit district and they're trying to get them to learn English as soon as they can in an early grade level. The area of language acquisition that helps this bilingual student would be in reading and writing, because whatever is put on this activity, they can use it later on in maybe homework or things that they need to do on their own in their writing or even um, in their reading activities. This work is usually put up on word walls, um, where teachers can put high frequency words, or they can also put, say, pictures, like I was saying, for the animals, or maybe the chart on butcher paper, where on one side they have capital letters for smaller children, and then on the other side of the butcher paper they'll have lowercase letters. That way when students are writing and they say, oh, I need to write a name, oh, a name starts with a capital letter, they can look back at the chart that the teacher made and be like, oh, look, that's how capital A looks, so okay, let me draw the capital A. And then for writing purposes, or even when reading, they can look back at whatever word wall that they did as a class, and they can use it to reference on the work that they're doing. um, this activity, step by step, this at first this the teacher, she would need to identify the skills that the class is practicing and the how they're going to sort them. For example, for let's go back to how I was talking about the animals, the sorting of the animals. The teacher would tell them, okay, look, class, what you're going to do today is you're going to grab a sheet of paper and you're going to divide it into 3 equal parts. You're going to hold the paper vertically and make 2 lines so you can separate the paper into 3 categories. At the top of the paper, you're gonna go ahead and label the paper in each category. So right here, I'm already explaining the activity, which is part 2 of the activity, where you're telling the student how you're gonna separate or how you're gonna run the activity. On step 3, you're gonna set up a routine of how the student has to execute the activity that you're having them do, and you're gonna tell them the requirements, which would be explaining to them why they're doing this activity and how they're gonna accomplish doing the activity properly and being sure that they got each section right. The 4th step is assessing the student's progress and their understanding. The way the teacher can do this is by walking around the classroom and observing how the students are how they're doing as they work on the sorting activities. And well, towards the end, the teacher can grade the papers. If they are doing an activity on sorting just itself, the teacher can grade the individual work. This strategy is appropriate for every grade level, from kindergarten to early elementary, later grades in elementary, middle school, and even high school. And this is because of the same thing, going back to what content areas you can use it in. You can, as early as using it for the letter knowledge, all the way to high school. In high school, maybe a student can use it in, I don't know, different subjects, maybe in science, as they're learning let's say, the different organ systems, and they can sort each organ into which category they belong to. And I like more examples of the sorting activities would be word walls, like I had said earlier, where it would be on bulletin boards around the classroom that students can use to reference. And also, like I said before, butcher paper. You can do this activity together as a class and put it on a bulletin board, or on butcher paper, and just have it represented around the classroom for classroom reference when they're doing individual work. Also for ELs, ELs can also do word rings. These are like different flashcards or little note cards that a student can use. Let's say they are working on let's say they're working on let's say carnivores. They would write down the word carnivores on the note paper, and then they would write carnívoro under the word in English, and then here they can write the meaning, and then they can write examples. They can write it in English, then in Spanish, then the meaning and examples. Maybe they can even draw a picture that way. And then they can use it, this activity, they can use it as they read their textbook or as the teacher reads out loud. They can be making their own flashcards. And then at the end of the lesson, the teacher can go around the classroom. And for the ELs, they can go ahead and give them a hole puncher, and they'll hole punch the note cards. That way the students can keep them on a ring, hence the word rings. And they're student made. The student will make their own little flashcards to help them in the future to reference back to their work whenever they're doing independent work. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put my activity to practice. I'm gonna be using this activity with a third grader in sorting out, like I said earlier, which would be animals on carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. And this activity, I will also be using it for my son. He's 5, he's in pre K, so we're going to use this activity on sorting out letters in capital letters and lowercase letters. Let's see how it goes.